What's going on, Fafo Nation? This is the Fafo Podcast. The Fafo Podcast. Where we are going to have a quick conversation or narrative, I guess you would say, about we're going to be talking about Jimmy Kemmel today. What in the world is this dude thinking? Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. No big deal. No problem with that. However, you cannot have an expectation of work. It is not being canceled. The president didn't do this. The right didn't do this. Your employer did it. I'm sorry. Why? Why is it that we are having this conversation about Jimmy Kimmel because he said some heinous shit, and now he's wanting to play victim? I shouldn't have lost my job because I said things. Yes, sir, you have the freedom of speech. No, you do not have freedom of consequence. I absolutely, have no problem with an employer firing anyone for the things that they say. You are responsible for every word that you are going to say, every word that is uttered. That is your responsibility. That is not, your employer's responsibility to keep you employed after you say whatever it is you're saying. I get it. You have a difference of opinion from, a lot of people, and that's okay. You can have that opinion. You can't have the expectation to run a man who was shot and killed in front of his family. You can't run him down. And you can't make an accusation like that he was shot by somebody on the right, so a fan of Charlie's. You can't do that. Unless you have all the facts, which you don't. You didn't have all the facts. You wanted to play some little fuck game and pretend that, it was the right. The right did this. It wasn't the right. The dude's lover is a trans furry, if I'm not mistaken. If that's not what was just done. Okay. Cool. No big deal. I am neither right nor left, so I get to call both sides retards, because both sides are kind of retarded. However, Charlie Kirk, he was a good dude. Family man, religious, he preached his faith. Every time that every clip I've ever seen of Charlie, he is preaching his faith, and he was living that life. And he didn't want, things to devolve into violence. And he said it many times. But he also walked the walk. He wasn't just talking the talk. He lived his life the way that he believed. And that is admirable. I get that, people have difference of opinions, and that's fine. My personal opinion is Charlie was right. You shouldn't judge somebody based on the color of their skin. You should not, have the belief that any race is inferior. Inferior. You should have a faith, a guiding principle. Now, do you have to believe in God to have a guiding principle? No. You could be like Ricky Gervais, who's an atheist as far as I remember. I'm not 100% on that, but somebody asked him, well, why wouldn't you just go around raping and killing as many people as you do? And he says, I do. I don't want to do that to anyone. So I do live my life that way. And that's fine. He had a difference of opinion. It's not that he was putting somebody down for believing in God either. And Charlie put himself out there to have conversations. Every time that I had ever seen him, he was willing to talk to anyone. And that was pretty cool. He defended his position well almost every time that I watched. And then he would have whoever he was, talking to lose their mind and start yelling at him. And then he'd yell back. Don't get me wrong. He is not above yelling back at somebody. But the way he did it, he just wanted people to hear it. Not that he was trying to talk over them. I can't say that I haven't watched everything he's ever done, but from everything I have seen, he was not that guy. He was not the one that made the violent outbursts. And for the most part, I'd never seen him do that. Again, I've not seen everything he's ever done. He was a father, and that happened to him in front of his wife and kids. Jimmy Kimmel, you are a entertainer. You are not some great political mind. You're a comedian. And from what I remember, the best thing you did was the Man Show. Everything since then has been kind of junk. I never really thought you were that funny, but that's my opinion. And honestly, I don't even think it was really, Jimmy Kimmel. I think Adam Carolla carried the Man Show. But that was the best thing that he was on. It's hard. It's hard to sit there and play victim all the time. I don't understand how somebody can be a victim all the time. I was lucky. Yes, I grew up poor, very poor. I grew up on welfare and WIC and all of the government programs. But my parents used it right. It was temporary. It was there when they needed it, but they didn't use it all the time. And I know that for a fact. Because I remember it. I have had opportunities that, I'm lucky to have, and I'm grateful for those. So the whole victim mentality, I don't understand it very well. I have a family where everybody works hard. There's not anybody in my family that I can't point to and be like they are a hard worker. I can't. There are a handful of family members that work exceptionally hard, where if they ask you to come help them, you're going to work your ass off. So I can't say that victim mentality has ever really been there for my family. I can't say that, it's 100% that way all the time, but it is there. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't have a right to work. He has the right to say whatever he wants, but he does not have the right to have a job. Yeah, if you want to go and have a job, being a stand-up comedian and a late-night show, that is a privilege, sir. That is not a right. The left will try to say that that's not the way that works, but that is 100% the way that works. You have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of justice, or the pursuit of happiness. Justice is a part of that. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we have the right for. We have a Bill of Rights that guarantees a few things. It does not say that the government gives us those rights. We are born with them by virtue of being born. Not the government allowing us to do these things. These are our God-given rights, or inalienable rights. It doesn't mean that I can just say whatever I want and not have some sort of consequence. Example, I have a very large older brother. He's a mountain of a man. If I told him he could go fuck himself, he would probably punch me in the face. And I would deserve that. That is, consequences. But I'd never say that to my brother. I mean, I love him and he would hurt me. We're in a weird place in this country where you're either way over here on the right or you're way over here on the left, and if you're anything in between, it's a problem. Charlie was in the middle, as far as I can tell. We have this weird spot where Charlie Kirk's, opinions can get him killed. But if you are on the left and say some heinous shit, it's overlooked. I don't understand how that works. Can somebody explain that? Anybody? Well, I ain't got nothing else, so, get out there, do life in the best way you can. I will go ahead and say you can't drink all day unless you start in the morning, so